everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for today's video where I'm going to discuss a Pakistani brand that has sort of been making waves in the Pakistani beauty community. And you guys already know I'm talking about none other than Zay Beauty. Now, Zay Beauty is just a brand that I have been very proud of from the very start. So I got added to their PR list a while after they had launched their Mod Squad palette, which was the first product that they launched. So when I was reached out to by Zay Beauty and they offered to send me their Mod Squad palette in PR, I was over the moon because I really wanted to test it and try it out. And honestly, you guys, I was not disappointed in the least. Other products that they launched were the Zay Beauty Drama Glows. They also came out with the Zay Beauty Mr. Perfect Sponge. It's a beauty sponge that has that angled tip. They recently launched these Mod Squad lipsticks. I am wearing the shade Anisa and I am loving it. I reached out to Zainab, who is the owner of Zay Beauty, and I just sort of asked her to tell me a little bit more about the brand because I wanted to include that in the intro to this video. And she was kind enough to email a few things back to me. So Zay Beauty launched in January 2018. But she had been working on the brand for the past 2 years. So it had taken her 2 years to sort of launch her first palette, which is the Zay Beauty Mod Squad palette. Now, can we just take a minute to admire the fact that this is a brand that is so representative of our culture. It is so representative of our traditions. I mean, you can see, just look at the packaging. I love the purple and gold combination. I just love the color purple anyway. I think it's a color that reminds me of royalty for some reason, and then mixing it up with gold. I mean, gold is a very prominent color in Pakistani and Indian culture, I believe. We focus and stress a lot on gold jewelry. Just the color gold reminds people of affluence and just being well off. This reminds me of a very beautiful mehndi pattern. So yeah, everything about this palette, I mean, just look at the packaging. Everything about this palette, everything about all her palettes just seems very well thought out. If you notice, the name of the highlighter is Chamak Dhamak. Her other duo is Chand Tara. So very desi names, very beautiful names. Her Mod Squad palette, most of the eyeshadows are Shahida, Amna, Hania, Iman, Zainab, Maryam, Aisha. So all girl names, all desi names. Even her liquid lipsticks are following sort of like the same trend. So I just love that this is a brand that is focusing so much on our culture. And this is something Zainab specifically said. When Zay Beauty goes global, I want everyone to know that it came from Pakistan. And that is why she is keeping it so close to our roots. She's keeping it so close to our traditions and our culture. And I absolutely love that. Another thing that I like about Zainab is that she mentions all the ingredients of her products as well. So it's not something she's trying to hide. She's very open about it. So for example, when she launched her liquid lipsticks, she made a post about all the ingredients that go into making these liquid lipsticks. I'm not an expert, but just knowing that a brand is putting the ingredients out there for you to check up on and research on, and just that openness and transparency is something that I really appreciate, and it just automatically makes me feel a lot safer putting her products on my face, just because I feel like she's not hiding anything. And I feel like a lot of Pakistani brands need to do more of that. For example, Medora lipsticks, 120 rupees, cheap as cheap can be. I love their quality. I love their colors, their shade range. So many lipsticks I can compare to like my MAC lipsticks. But I don't know what goes into the lipsticks. I've checked their website. Their website is, I mean, as useless as it can get. There are no ingredients mentioned on the boxes or the lipstick tube. So I have no idea what goes into making those lipsticks. They are very cheap, which automatically makes me feel like I don't even know, like I just don't want to get cancer, you know what I mean? But they're so good and the colors are so good and they stay on for so long. They're matte formulations, they're creamy formulations. I actually really like Medora lipsticks. I'm a huge fan. I just don't know what goes into them and I'm just going to leave it at that. But we were not talking about Medora lipsticks. We were talking about Zay Beauty. Cheyenne, get it together. Okay, so Zay Beauty, I love. All their products so far, A+. Now we're going to move on to the tutorial. So you guys can see me apply all of this on my face. Okay guys, so I've already applied my base. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to conceal, and this I'm going to do on camera. Primarily because I want to show you how Zay Beauty's Mr. Perfect Sponge does the job of pressing in and blending concealer into your skin. This is also what I used to press the foundation into my skin. You guys have seen me use foundation blenders and pro blenders in so many videos now, and this one works just the same way. But the unique thing about this sponge is the flat tip that it has on one side. So it really gets into like certain nooks and crannies of your face, like around the nose, right under your eyes. You can sort of use this edge to create a sharp line when you are baking your under eye area and giving your eyeshadow that shape, if you know what I'm talking about. Also, the sponge is extremely soft once you wet it. It really expands in size as well. And just the texture of it, you can tell that this is going to really blend the foundation into your skin seamlessly. So I'm going to take my LA Girl Pro Conceal in creamy beige, and I'm just going to apply that under my eyes. And then using Mr. Perfect by Zay Beauty, I'm going to press this in. So you can notice I'm using the flat edge to really give myself this shape. So if I had eyeshadow on, this would really help clean the look up. I can even take this around my nose and around my mouth. So basically anywhere on my face where I need to conceal, even if I have to be precise, Mr. Perfect sponge will really help me and get the job done. Now I'm going to use Mr. Perfect to apply some Coty Airspun to my face. So I've taken some on the sponge, and do you see that? How simple. How easy is that? The flat edge is giving me such a perfect shape as sort of like a guide as to where I'm going to take my eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to dig into my Mod Scott palette by Zay Beauty. Now, this is a palette that I have used the heck out of. I've used this on clients, I've used this on myself in so many Instagram looks. I can compare this palette to so many of my sort of high-end palettes. I definitely got a lot of Morphe vibes from this when I first tried it on. It has some beautiful shimmers. The shimmers are extremely pigmented, and one swipe gets the job done. It also has some really creamy mattes. So normally matte shadows are a little harder to formulate, and getting them to blend seamlessly can be really hard if the formulation is not good enough. But with these, I've never had any problem. And they swatch really beautifully, they blend really beautifully on the eyes, they apply really, really well, and they stay put for a very long time. This palette also contains two highlight shades called Aisha and Fatma. A, both the names I love, and B, these highlight shades are blinding. So whether you want to highlight your inner corner, your brow bone, or even your cheeks for that matter, these two shadows will just really, really get the job done and give you that blinding highlight. To start off with, I'm going to take the shade Maria on my Morphe G24 brush, and I'm just going to take it into my crease. Can you see how pigmented that is? Like, I just dipped into the palette once. Blends in so easily. There is no patchiness. Ta-da! There goes your transition shade. Now I'm going to move into the shade Anam. Now I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. Now I'm going to take the shade Mariam and apply that more towards the outer corner. And now the darkest shade in the palette, which is the matte black named Zenab. Right on the outer corner of my eye. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Hania on my finger. This is a very pretty rose gold type of a shade. Oh my god. Do you see that? Just took it on my finger. I love applying shimmers with my fingers. I think you get the most pigment out of it. And I am just, with my finger, taking this all over my lid. Bam! The eye look could be done right here, but we're going to sort of clean it up a little. So again, taking Mariam and blending the black shade, which was Zenab, in with Hania, which was the rose gold we just applied on top. So just sort of making sure every color sort of melts into the other. And then going back in with Zenab to just intensify the black on the outer corner because we've lost some of the intensity. Also going to take Zena, which is that black color, on the outer corner of my lower lash line. And then blending it in with the matte brown, which was Mariam. Okay, now going to repeat the same steps on my other eye. Okay guys, so I have completed the eye look. I think it came out beautifully. It was very easy to achieve. The colors were very pigmented. They sort of did the job for me. I didn't really have any trouble blending or anything of the sort. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. One thing that I did not record was that I took this shade Fatma, which is one of the highlighter shades, and I applied that in my inner corner just to brighten it up even more. Now I'm going to move on to blush, and I want to use a matte blush color so that when I apply the Zay Beauty highlighter on top, you can really see the impact that the highlighter has on its own. The blush I'm going to use today is the Bourgeois Paris blush in the shade 54 Rose Croissant. I've used this in a previous video. I really like this blush. I think it's a very pretty pink, and I think it would complement most skin tones. These Bourgeois blushes, you kind of have to build in color. So it's not like one swipe and boom, pigment. They're not like that. They're very buildable. So you kind of have to work at it. And I don't know about you guys, but personally, I prefer blush that you have to build up, because I can sometimes be a little heavy-handed when it comes to blush. And I don't want to end up looking like a clown, because once you apply more product, it's really hard to take down. Whereas it is very easy to build up. Blush is on. Now moving into one of my favorite products by them. Now these are the Drama Glows. So they sort of came out with highlighter duos, which means that both the highlighters that you get have the same tone but different formulations. So you have one that is cream and then one that is powder. So you can use these on their own on different days depending on what you're in the mood for. For example, I prefer cream highlighters during the winters and powder highlighters during the summers. But then sometimes I like layering them up, so applying cream underneath and then a powder highlighter on top. This is something I showed you guys in my everyday makeup routine. I will link the video below if you haven't checked it out. Now, the shade I was sent in PR was Chamak Dhamak. Chamak Dhamak is a very rose goldish sort of a highlight. I think it's beautiful for people with medium to deep skin tones, such as myself. The other highlighter duo they have is Chand Tara. That is more towards people who have a lighter skin tone, so they're light to medium. It is extremely creamy. It is very soft at the touch. It's very easy to blend into the skin, and it is very, very pigmented. So you definitely get the impact that you're looking for. Dhamak is the powder highlighter. It is again beautiful. It has some kickback in the pan when you are using a brush to go in, but that is okay, because honestly, like, there is absolutely zero problem applying it on the face. And as long as something applies seamlessly where I want to apply it, I don't really fuss about kickback. That is something I can deal with. Now I want to go in with the cream highlighter first, which is Chamak, but I just realized that I did the dumb thing of powdering my face. And you never apply creams on top of powders, but I really do want to show you what this blends like. So I'm just going to show you on my hand that this is a beautiful product, and it's so easy to blend out. Like, can you see that glow? So this is my clean hand, and this is the one that has the Chamak cream highlighter by Zay Beauty. Now, since I've powdered my face, I'm going to show you guys what Dhamak looks like, which is the powder highlighter. I'm going to take it on my Wet n Wild P75 highlighter brush, and I'm going to go in towards the high points of my face. If you guys want an even more intense look, you can sort of spritz your brush with a makeup fixing spray or something. I think it's pretty blinding even on its own. Like, just look at that. Look, see for yourself. I'm not exaggerating. It's right there. Whoa. I used these highlighters so much in my Instagram stories that some of you got upset with me. And you guys DM'd saying, oh my god, can you show us another highlighter? Like, we get it, you love this is good. But what else have you got? Okay, now moving on to the last product I have from Zay Beauty. I have their Motscot Liquid Lipstick. This is one of their most recent launches. I have not tried these yet. So when it comes to this product, I've swatched these on my hands. I've shown them to you on my Instagram stories. I have not yet applied these on my lips. So as far as applying the formulation on my lips is concerned, this is going to be sort of like a first impressions. One of my favorite colors from the collection is Sidra. And this color is just so beautiful. It is sort of like a dusty rose kind of a color. It's a very muted pink, but it has like a very slight mauvey undertone. I think it's super pretty, and I also think this is very unique. Zay Beauty is sort of known for creating products that work on our skin tone, and I find it's so hard to find a perfect nude for olivey undertones. Most nudes can just immediately make me look drained and dead and zombie-like. There are a few nudes that actually work with our skin tones. I feel like Musarat Misbah kind of did a good job in that category as well. The other color that I really like from this launch is Anisa, which is a very peachy, pinky kind of a color. It has more peach than pink, and it's a slightly fresher color. It's brighter, but not overly bright. So I think it still falls under the nude category. The third color they launched is Samra. Now Samra is a very bright, beautiful, hot pink kind of a color. I think this is a very like pick-me-up color, like on days when you just don't want to do a lot of eye makeup and you want to keep it simple, so you just focus on your skin, make everything look very glowy and pretty with a pink blush, and then you throw on this hot pink vibrant lip color, and I think it's just going to make such a good statement lip. The last color they've launched is Ruhi. Now this is a very blue based red. I think blue based red in the sense that this is a red that would make your teeth look whiter. I think this is one that would look good on every skin tone. I feel like this color has a lot of character. I mean, I know there are a lot of red lipsticks on the market. I think there is a red for every skin tone. And I get very confused when girls are like, oh, I don't think I can pull off a red lip color. I think it won't look good on me. No, there is a shade of red for every girl out there in the world. The only problem is you might not feel confident enough to wear it, or wearing a red lip color might make you feel more self-conscious. So it's just about building confidence and knowing that you can carry any lip color you want. Now, the lip color that I want to try today with this look is, I think I'm going to go with Anisa, because Anisa will look better with the eye look that I have on today. Scratch everything that I said about the color Anisa. This is not a nudish color. It seemed more nudish in the tube, but once it's on, it is like a bright, beautiful peach color. I think this looks amazing. I think there are very few lipstick colors that I have that are similar to this, which is surprising because I own a lot of lipsticks. But this one is just sort of holding its own in my collection, and I'm into this. I like this. This is one coat of liquid lipstick, as you saw, and it covered my entire lips beautifully. There were no patches, no nothing. The lipstick one was a good small size because I have thin lips, so I could like really be very precise with it. It feels very comfortable on the lips. It's not sticky. The reason I didn't like the Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks, the original formula, was because every time I pressed my lip together, I felt like they were kind of sticky. This one seems very promising. I'm not someone who likes liquid lipsticks. You guys already know that. I don't like drying formulas on my lips. But this one feels very comfortable so far, and I have a feeling it's going to last a long time as well. It didn't take a long time to dry. This turned matte like this. And usually I'm not into that. I'm not going to lie. I like lipsticks to be a little bit movable on the lips. I like there to be a little some feeling of moisture. But so far my lips don't feel dried out. You guys, I was done filming, but the shade Sidra just kept calling my name. Like I could just, like in my head, I could hear Sidra going like, Shayan, come, try me. I look beautiful. I'm going to suit you so much. Put me on. And I did. And I love it. I do not have Fenty Beauty's Uncuffed, but I don't know why this lipstick is sort of reminding me of that shade. From what I've seen online, like I think this is a kind of similar-ish color. Just saying. Okay, you guys, I did this look at 4:30 and it is almost 7 o'clock right now. So this look has been on for a couple of hours. The only new product that I'm trying out is the liquid lipstick, and so far even that is really impressing me. But the eyeshadows are still just as vibrant, and so is the highlight, as you can see. Today's wear test is just showing you guys how everything wears so that you guys can make an informed decision in case you want to purchase any of their products. This is the 10 p.m. check-in, which is the post-dinner check-in. I've also had a cup of tea, mind you, and my liquid lipstick is still there. It is still on. It hasn't even like disappeared from the inner portion of the lip, which is normally where my lipsticks tend to fade away from once I've had food. My eyeshadow is still very shimmery. It's still very present in the exact areas that I applied it, so that is great. And the highlighter is just... You guys know I love this highlighter. It has been on for 5.5 hours and it is still shining and it is still glowy and it is still perfect. And I'm going to try and do one more check-in. Let's see if I can. But so far, so good. Okay, you guys, it's 12:30 at night or 12:30 in the morning, whatever you call it. My makeup still looks pretty amazing. I do not know how this lip color is still on. I don't know what witchcraft went into this lip color. The funniest thing is it does not feel dry at all, and I am super sensitive to liquid lipsticks drying my lips out. So okay, let me show you. I just did this test. So you see this is a clean finger, right? Do you see that little bit of transfer? Like, can you see that? Let's try another one. Okay, it's more obvious on this one. Can you see that? This lipstick still has movement to it, in the sense that it is not completely matte. I did use a lot of lip balm underneath, so I have to say that. I really saturate my lips with lip balm before I apply liquid lipsticks. I hate the feeling of dry lips. But so while there is movement to this lip product, which is not drying me out, which I love, it's still on my lips despite food and despite the fact that I've had 2 cups of tea, and I'm gonna have another one because I have a lot of editing to do. So I don't know, the formulation is magic. And the eyeshadow, this is without primer, by the way, and I did not apply any falsies or eyeliner because I wanted you guys to see just the eyeshadow by itself on its own without anything to make it look even prettier. And I mean, beautiful. It's still there. It's still exactly where I placed it. It has not dimmed down. Everything looks perfect. You guys, I don't want to say more good things about this brand because this is appearing like a sponsored video. It is not. This is just a brand I genuinely really like, and I mean, you can see why. I had this makeup on for 8 hours. It still looks amazing. And I've had a rough day, by the way. Alicia's been sick. She's running a temperature. She has this horrible cough. A lot of people at home are sick as well. So anyway, she's finally down to sleep, and I'm gonna start editing my video now. Okay, you guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about Zay Beauty. If there are any other brands you want me to check out, just do leave them in the comments below. I hope you guys will give this video a thumbs up. I hope you will subscribe to my channel. I am really enjoying doing this. It's even better when I read your positive comments and the feedback, and I see the subscriber count go up. It's so motivating. You guys have no idea. I hope I will see all of you in my next video. And till then, take good care of yourselves. Mwah.